Hello and welcome to your thieving fix. Now this is one of two guides, the thief and the assassin. They both cover pretty much the same skills, but there was a little too much to squeeze into one guide, so I split them up. Now this one's going to be covering more the security sides of things. Now as far as races go, there's really not much to give you a major benefit. There's the Kaji and Wood Elf, I think. That's the one. The Kaji gives you 5 in security and 5 in sneak, and the Wood Elf will give you 10 in sneak. But considering how easy both of these are to upgrade on your own, I'd just say go with whatever you want. Now normally I would avoid the presets like the Plague because they're usually full of rubbish you're not going to use, but in the case of the Thief it's actually quite a nice setup, I must say. I mean, you've got specialisation, stealth, that goes without saying. Favourite attributes, speed and agility, very handy. Major skills, security, sneak, acrobatics, light armour, short blade, marksman, speechcraft and mercantile, I must point out, are very handy. Hand to hand, meh, suppose it's handy. The only issue I have with this is it's got athletics and acrobatics, and normally I say don't pick them as a major and minor because they're so easy to upgrade, but if you just bear that in mind, then this preset is actually a pretty decent one. Now there are a couple of handy Birthsigns for you. Surprisingly, the Thief is possibly the most useless one. If you don't know what Sanctuary does, it gives the impression it puts you in like a safe haven or something. It doesn't, it just makes you really hard to hit for a short period of time, so it's not actually as great as it sounds. Your best bet is either the Tower. Now these three spells combined give you about 90% of the time will give you essentially detect anything. And of course down at the bottom here we've got open 50 points on touch, which is going to be really handy if you're a thief, duh. And the other one here is the Shadow, which will give you invincibility for 60 seconds on self once a day. That's pretty handy as well. Now somebody you might want to know about is up in the council manor of that house that I can never bloody pronounce, up in this posh area. And here you want to talk to the lovely Mr. Vane, and she's not only a master, I think, in security, so she can get your security skill quite high, but she'll also sell master probes and lockpicks. Now to join the Thieves Guild you want to head over to the South Wall Corner Club, that's the one down the south wall in the corner, herp. And you want to speak to the lovely skooma addict in here called Sugarlips Habassi, and you can just, dead simple, just join the Thieves Guild from there. Now, there's a slight perk to being a member of the Thieves Guild, and that's this, price on your head. Okay, if you have a bounty, you can pay certain members of the Thieves Guild to remove the bounty for a fraction of the price. If you speak to Sugarlips here, it lists everybody who'll do it in the different areas. Now the one in Balmora is dead easy to find though, because he's in the same room as the bartender here. Hello! And you just want to speak to them about price on your head. It's not a problem for you now, I know I'm a goody two-shoes. Okay, now onto the security skill. Now there's going to be 3 instances you're going to encounter while trying to lockpick. The first one is quite simply lock too complex. You are not getting through this door without either increasing your security skill or using better equipment. Sometimes that's just enough to get you up there. The second instance is the good one. It doesn't happen half enough as it should, unfortunately, and that's lockpick successful. You win. That's simple. And the last one when you try is when you're at a level where it's touch or go. You can unlock it, but it may take you a while, like this. Now when you find yourself in a situation like this, what you can do, if you've got them, is use better lockpicks. They have a higher chance of unlocking. So that's another way to do it. Sometimes, yeah, you just gotta keep trying. Bingo! Now, this is what happens if you try to open a door that's trapped. Yeah, not so great, is it? Now, it's dead easy to deal with these, though. All you need to do is equip a probe and use that, and that will disarm the trap. Now, I play with a little treat from the Morrowind code patch, which hides traps from me, but normally it'll just say on the door, it'll say, like, that would say, Dwemer trapped. Just go up to it, equip the probe like a lockpick, and just disarm it, that's simple. Now here's a very brief introduction to the sneak icon. Now if you look down at the bottom left hand corner here, you'll notice this icon keeps flashing up. It's a hand grabbing a bag, although to me it looks like a hangman's noose. Or maybe that's just me. But yeah, so it keeps flashing on and off there. They're aware of my presence at this state. Now if you can get that to stay on solid, it's not guaranteed, but you should be good to nick something. Now, what happens if you actually get caught stealing something? Well, you're given 3 options from here. Pay gold, go to jail, which I wouldn't advise, I'll explain in a minute, or resist arrest, in which they're going to chase you down and kill you. So, you can pay your way out of it, but there's one small problem with doing this. Any item in your inventory which was previously stolen will disappear. So as you can see, I've lost half my alchemy equipment there. Now there's a small trick to bypass this though, as long as you've got time to do it. Is quite simply drop all your equipment before you get caught. Okay, so I'm going to drop everything I've nicked here, or everything I can remember I've nicked. Stick the retort there just because it looks good. Okay, pay my way out of it. These items can still be removed from your inventory at a later date though, so be careful of that. Now there's a handy trick that you can do every time you play through, and it's right at the start. As soon as you've picked up your release papers, you can use that trick with this. It's not exactly worth a fortune, but at the start of the game when you've got absolutely nothing, that's pretty handy. And at this point you don't even have to pay a fine. It's lovely. Yoink! And this is why you want to avoid going to jail at all costs. Okay, that's it for your Thieves Guide. Just remember, when it comes to Vardenfell people, the only crime is getting caught.